Hi everybody, this is Racer Andy, and we are coming to you live from beautiful historic Sebring International Raceway. We have a beautiful 70-degree day. The sky is blue. We're getting ready for an afternoon of racing. We've got 4 or 5 groups. They're all going to run 30-minute feature races. I believe the first up will be the ST cars, the Super Touring cars. And then we have the Spec Miatas, the Spec Racer Fords, the improved touring racers, and at the end of the day we'll have the GT cars. So we've got quite a few 30-minute races coming up. These should be fun. The corner workers are all making their way back to their stations. They took a little lunch break, and we should be starting some live racing in just a few minutes. Thanks for joining us. Okay, I can hear a little bit of chatter on the radio. It sounds like they're getting ready to go. We should be having some live racing action coming to you in just a few minutes. Thanks for joining us. This should be fun. And we've got some fun news about some of the things going on the website. We encourage y'all to check that out. Go to myracedata.com. We have a community forum, and everybody's welcome to join. And we'd like to invite everybody to sign up and join the conversation. Okay, so jump on the chat. Okay, hi everybody, this is Racer Andy. jump into chat and let us know how the stream looks. We've been struggling a little bit. Sometimes our coverage is better than others with the satellite. So it's a nice clear day, but we've kind of had some problems all morning long, but the YouTube is currently reporting an excellent connection. So we're hoping that you guys are getting a nice stream out of it. The corner workers have made their way back to their corner stations, and we anticipate the first group of cars coming our way here pretty soon. I'm going to put my scanner in my ear and see if I can hear any chatter and let you guys know. I think they're getting ready. So we should be back to live racing here any second now. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We took a little break at lunchtime to try to get the stream fixed up a little bit. Hopefully it's working better. Let us know in the chat how it sounds and looks to you guys. Just trying to make sure I'm getting up here ready to work the camera. So thanks everybody for joining us. I'm Racer Andy from MyRaceData.com, and we're getting ready to enjoy a great Sunday afternoon of club racing here in beautiful historic Sebring International Raceway. The light should be a little better. Where I'm situated is at the exit of turn 5, and we like to sit here in the fall and spring because the lighting's a little better. You can see when I point the camera down towards the bridge, the light is a little bit funky there, but there's your view of turn 5, and you can see your corner workers over there at their stations are getting ready to flag this race underway. Pardon me where I grab a quick drink. And so we stayed at the beautiful Sebring 7 hotel last night, and it was a wonderful stay. And that's always a treat. You wake up in the morning and you walk out on your balcony, and there's a racetrack right below you, looking right down into the world famous safety pin, the hairpin corner here at Sebring. And we are located at the exit of turn 5, drivers right. A lot of times when you get on the web and you look at some of the onboard video that these guys post, you know, you can see me sitting there on the exit of turn 5. And we encourage any of the guys who are showing up in race, and guys and gals who are racing here in Sebring, and whether you've raced over the past summer or fall, We've been here, and we've been in Daytona a few times, and we've probably got some good shots of your car out on track, some video clips. So we encourage you guys, if you would like to use some of this video footage or some of these great still shots we get when we're covering these events, we encourage any of the racers, any of the Sports Car Club of America competitors or their teams to get a hold of us. Get on the website myracedata.com and get a hold of us, and we'll send you some copyright-free stills and video clips of your car out on track, and you can use them to promote your team any way you'd like. They'd be provided to you absolutely copyright-free, and we would just like to do that to help racers, and we'd also like to encourage anybody who's ever really, if you've ever really dreamed of driving a race car on a racetrack, we encourage you to check out this SCCA program. It's the Sports Car Club of America. It's a great club, and everybody's welcome. There's a lot of different kinds of events. They have a track day event here at Sebring, usually about once a month on a Thursday night, and it's a nice, safe environment. And I can hear some cars coming up. Sounds like they're pulling out of the hot grid and headed our way. They should be coming down the front straightaway, past the tower, and into turn 1 and 2 here shortly, and led by the pace car. And we'll get this race started. I believe this should be the Super Touring cars. And I can see them coming up through turns 3 and 4. And we're about to go live racing. Thanks everybody for joining us. This is Racer Andy from MyRaceData.com, and here comes the pace car leading the pack. There it is. And yes, sir. These are ST cars, GT3, STU. Get in there and get a nice close look at these guys. Look at these beautiful race cars. So there's your field. And this is we're going to have a 30-minute feature race here. So these guys have 30 minutes to get out there, and it looks like some of the cars, there are B-spec cars out there. I also see the E and F production cars. So there's the field. On their pace lap. And I can begin to hear them coming up. Making their way up through turn 10 and up towards tower. And let's see if you can see them coming through. If I point the camera right over there towards the airfield, you'll be able to see them going through turn 14 and 15 on their way to that historic back straightaway, a giant concrete runway. That was built during the 40s, during World War II. There you can see the guys making their way up through the S's on their way to turn 16, which is a right-hander, and it dumps out onto that back straightaway. So this is the 2026 Central Florida Region Cabin Fever Cure. Say that 3 times fast. And brought to you by the friendly, super nice folks at the Central Florida Region Sports Car Club of America. They put these races on. All these folks that you see, the corner workers and all the folks who run these races are all volunteers. They're all club volunteers who are giving their free time to put these great races on, because they love racing just as much as the guys running the race cars. And so this is great multi-class racing. Anybody can do it. There's several of the classes that are pretty inexpensive, and so there's something for just about everybody's budget. And no matter where you are in the rankings, you always have somebody to run with, and it's a lot of fun. So we encourage you to check it out. And like I say, there's a bunch of different ways that you can get started. You can run track days, and they have time attack, autocross, rally cross. There's a rally cross that's at the fairgrounds, at St. Lucie Fairgrounds, and here comes your leaders in the ST class. You should see them here. These guys are flying, man. Here's your leader. Look at this gaggle of cars, and that's quite a pack of cars. They've got a pretty good turnout. Between turns 10 and Tower. So jump in the chat if you'd like, and say hi. We always appreciate that. See if I can get the race monitor up. Give you guys some kind of idea about the running order. And this is the 2026 Cabin Fever Cure. And so has to use the GT3s, ITOs, the T3 cars, the Touring 3 cars. So you have quite a variety of different machines out there. And there goes your leader. He's already pulled himself out a pretty substantial lead. Here comes second place overall. All right, now there's one good looking race car. Starting to spread out a little bit. Jumping the curb. There's a couple of the B specs. Let me tell you, those guys drive the wheels off those cars. Here's a little Datsun 240Z. We all know the channel, love some Datsuns. So Jonas Schwartz is leading in STU, the number 45 Porsche 944. Second is Bill McGavick in a GT3. That's a Mazda RX-7. And then Austin Kripp is in an STU. That's the number 96. He's in the BMW M3, I'm sorry. And then John Weisberg in an STU BMW Z4. So you can see you have quite a variety of classes, quite a variety of different marquees all raced together. So we've got a bunch of new subscribers. We really appreciate that. Here comes your leader, and he's starting to pull out a pretty substantial lead. Here comes second place. These cars are running in two different classes. So. Look at this pack. This guy's coming right in here. Look how close they are. It's a heck of a show, man. Look at this pack. Great racing, great club racing for you on Sunday. Beautiful Sunday on February 8th, 2026. Coming to you live from Sebring International Raceway. There's a lot of stuff going on in the track here. They're getting ready for the 12 hours. They've put a new crossover bridge just before turn 17 so that you can get from an area on the south side of the racetrack. You should see your leader coming in. And they've erected a new viewing mound over there on the area of turn 16 as well. And they're going to open up a campground during the 12 hours over there on the south side of the racetrack, and I think it's like $50 for the whole week. And look at that, the second and third place right together. So we're starting to see a little bit of a race for those last two podium positions. But bear in mind, these guys, they're running a variety of different, looks like we got an attempted pass around the outside going into Big Bend. And that's right after these guys go under that tunnel. You see the Mission Foods Tunnel, the Allen J Bridge. When they go right there under that tunnel, they're going out onto Big Bend. Look at this pack, man. They are right together. This guy is driving the wheels off this thing, man. He's just flying through 5, man. You're starting to get spread out a little bit. That way you guys get a look at all of them. Here comes a beast back. Whoops. kind of ran a little bit of a wide line through 5 and ends up right out on the curbing there on the exit. So we got a heck of a race going, and like I say, this is a 30-minute race, so these guys are going to be going at it for a while. There's corner workers over there. Now here comes your leader, and he's already catching up to some slower traffic. It's going to be not too long till they start. Mixing up their way through the order. And there's, I believe, second place. And little Mazda, let's get a good shot of this. That's your 4th place competitor. Overall, these guys are in several different classes. Outside. Jumping the curb. Look at this pack. Let us know if you see your guy out there, man. Jump in the chat and say hi. So we've got a great afternoon of racing lined up. Here comes your leading B-Spec. Can you hear his tires? And so there's the next B-Spec car in line. Wow, whoa. A little bit of an off-course excursion there. Here comes your leader. Going through the dust. He's probably wondering what the heck's going on here, man. And yeah, the wind isn't super strong at the moment, so we'll give you a little bit wider shot. The 4th place overall as he's making his way through some traffic. Look how close these guys are, man. They're just having a super race. That's the fun of club racing. There's always somebody to run with. giant wing on this Mustang, man. You know how loud that car is? Oops. Having a little bit of a whoa, a little bit of a bobble. These guys are kicking up all kind of dust, man. Look at this. Saturn making a move on the outside. Thanks everybody for joining us. This is Racer Andy from MyRaceData.com. Here comes your leader. He's already made it through past the 2B specs. As we get a little later on in the afternoon, the lighting gets a little better for me. Whoops, ran off the exit again. That thing sounds cool. Guys who just having themselves a good old race. And look at these two. Now, they're going to be out there for 30 minutes, and I think that that's how long it's going to take them to settle who's going to take that position. This is one of the coolest looking cars, man. It's a Mustang. Hear that thing? Jumping the curbs, man. Pack is starting to get pretty spread out. Get a good look at all the cars. Catch him jumping over the curb. That's pretty cool. C3's the charm here. That time we were a little more conservative through the exit there. You had pavement left over. Those two are maybe a car length apart. So we hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Like the little black and white Mustang, and those guys ran up behind some of the slower traffic, and it looks like it sort of might have had an effect on the running order. So we'll see how that works itself out next time by. Thanks everybody for joining us. I'm Racer Andy from MyRaceData.com, and we are bringing you the Central Florida Region Cabin Fever Cure 2026 version. You have the STOs, the STLs, Touring 4, production, F production, You should have seen the slide that he had going into that corner. It was pretty spectacular. And he gathered it up, kept it on the racetrack. A little bit of excitement. We've had a pretty exciting morning. Yesterday was a great stream. We finished the day with a 2-hour endurance race. There were 55 cars entered, and it just looked like a blast. And it was fun to watch. I can see the competitors coming into turn 3, and you can tell, that they have to slow down quite a bit to make it through that corner. Here's our Spec car. Looks like the running order got straightened right out. Guys made their way past that slower competitor. Let's see where he is. He's apparently a little ways back. Here he is. Now bear in mind, these guys they're in different classes, and there's different performance capabilities of all these cars. So a lot of times the running order is not really indicative of the actual state of their race. They might be winning their class. I think that's your leader, and that's what it is. Like he's trying to do his best to work his way through traffic and keep his nose clean. Yeah, like I say, you can see him flying through from turn 1, and turn 2 is kind of a little more than a kink in the road. I don't even think they slow down much. So there's an interesting race. And you can see him come flying down turn 2 and into 3, and they have to slow down quite a bit. From where I can see him over there. Off in the distance. They are really flying when they come off turn one, man. Having a great race. Beautiful cars, one from way back in the day. And yeah, let me see if I can see these. See, here they come from turn one. Ooh, you can hear the B-Specs tires howling. They just, like I say, to make good time in those cars, they just have to fly, man. Now let's see how this is turning out. Again, they're making their way through slower traffic. That's what this is, multi-class racing. That's what club racing is all about. You'll be out there on track, and there's guys that are going quicker than you and guys that are going slower than you. They're in less powerful cars and more powerful cars, and you got to make your way safely through traffic. I think I see a standing yellow, or at least a yellow flag over there in the corner just before the bridge. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. They are displaying a yellow, but the flag station up here at turn 5 is not. So there's those guys you can see, they're not displaying yellow, so I'm not sure what's going on there. They might have something going on down near the hairpin, or so we've got some people watching the stream. We really appreciate you guys watching the stream, and jump on there, give a thumbs up. We had to stop the stream at lunchtime when the corner workers took a break, and we're trying to adjust the settings. And sometimes the satellite dish works a little better, sometimes it doesn't work so good. So we downgraded the output of the stream a little bit so you guys could get a nice clean stream, and let us know how it looks in the chat. Jump on the chat and say hi. We've got some new subscribers to the channel. We'd just like to thank everybody who subscribed. And I think I see the pace car, and I believe there's a standing yellow. They are not displaying the yellow at the turn 5 worker station. Here you can see it just on the left-hand side there. But there's the pace car, and he has picked up the leader. And there's your overall leader. Let me zoom in here so you guys can get a real good look at these beautiful race cars. So everybody's going to make a tour around behind the pace car. If I can check and see what the race monitor says. And so when the yellow flag comes out, everybody has to you're not allowed to pass. and you have to stay in the running order you were in. And so naturally that can get that can be kind of exciting. There's a beautiful historic tower over there on the left-hand side of the picture. Just a couple of fluffy little clouds on the horizon. There's the stars and bars. And everybody's making a tour around the circuit and behind the pace car. Let me see if I can figure out what's going on. The race monitor. And there you see one of the safety workers' trucks going by. And the race monitor hasn't updated since the last race. And they're calling that, they're saying that's the finished, that's the race. So they went 31 minutes. So that was it. I guess the race ended under a yellow flag or Okay, are we live? Are we back on the air here? I stopped the stream for a second and made still another adjustment, and we're trying to lower our bit rate and get down where YouTube is happy with us. So hopefully we're streaming in a little bit lower resolution, but hopefully the coverage will be better. Hi everybody, I'm Racer Andy, and we're coming to you live from Sebring International Raceway. Here, let me adjust the camera a little bit. There you go. So, and you can see I've got my flannel shirt on because I'm in the shade. I'm under the awning, but it's a warm day. It's in the high 60s, the low 70s, and it's a beautiful day. The blue sky, and you can see the. Zoom out a little bit so you can see the beautiful stars and stripes there in the upper left corner of the shot. There you go. How's that look? So, and we're enjoying the weekend. It's a nice warm sunny day, and we're having the cabin fever cure, brought to you by the folks at Central Florida Region Sports Car Club of America. And if you're up north, if you're a racer and you race up in the north, or you're probably buried in snow, and we just want to let you know that we're down here in Florida, we're racing. So next February, and we had an event last month in January, and it was just as warm and nice, and there's really good turnout for the January race. And that was winter festival, or something like winter vacation, that's what they called it, the Central Florida winter vacation, which was in January, and it was wonderful and warm down here. We had a little cold snap in Florida, but now we're back to pretty nice weather. And so if you live up north and you've got cabin fever, next year set yourself a vacation and come on down to Florida and race with us in Central Florida at beautiful historic Sebring International Raceway. And we've had some great races so far. These are the 30-minute feature races, and we've got I think the Spec Miatas, the Spec Racer Fords, the improved touring, and the last, and I might not have them in the right order. But usually the last class of the day will be the big GT cars, the ground pounders, I call them. And that's usually our grand finale. And so I think we've got 4 more groups to go. Each of these races is going to be 30 minutes long. We hope you enjoy them, and thanks for joining us. Jump into chat and say hi. Let us know about your team, and we'll call them out on the air if we can. And we hope you enjoy the coverage. We hope that the stream looks pretty good, because we've been struggling with our satellite connection, and hopefully maybe we'll have to buy another satellite dish. Maybe if we have 2 of them, that'll work better or something, because we're recording this in 4K. And here comes your pace car leading the next class. And it's a Spec Racer Fords. And so those guys are lined up behind the pace car. We've got 30 minutes of Spec Racer Ford racing coming at you. We got some folks watching the stream. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And we're sorry if the stream was not very good this morning. We have been struggling a little bit to get a nice stream up, so we've had to turn the resolution down to try to get a good stream up onto the net so you guys can watch this race live. But if the connection is too poor and it looks choppy on YouTube, then come on back during the week, and we record everything in 4K, and we'll do some highlight reels so you guys can watch the race. And so we hope everybody enjoys. We hope everybody enjoys the races this afternoon. I'm Racer Andy from MyRaceData.com, and we are bringing you the Central Florida Region Cabin Fever Cure 2026 version, Sports Car Club of America amateur. This is some of the best amateur racing that you'll see anywhere in the world. These guys, even though they're not pros, they definitely, that doesn't mean they're not excellent race car drivers. Some of them could very definitely make it into pro ranks. So, okay, so let me swing the camera around, and I'll show you. See, you can see right about there. Okay, you can see these guys come out of turn one. And turn two here at Sebring is kind of, it's just a little bitty kink in the road. It's not much of an actual corner now. I think off in the distance you can see those guys. Here, turn the camera a little bit. And you can see them making their way to turn 14 and 15. And over to turn 16, where they take a right hand through the, out onto the historic back straightaway, which is almost a mile long. And that's the same runway that it's a concrete runway that was built during World War II, back when this was Hendricks Air Force Base, Hendricks Army Air Base actually. And when they built this base out here in the beautiful rolling prairie land of Central Florida, they put 4 mile long concrete runways, 300 feet wide each by almost a mile long. And that was to help these guys that they were instructing and teaching to fly B-17s and B-29s, and those guys went off to war over there in Europe, and they won World War II for us. And it was not too long after that that they decided to go ahead and start running the race out here on the airfield. The original 12 hours was run on the runways and the support roads that made up Hendricks Army Air Base, and we've been at it over 70 years now, since the 50s. So the first race was run back in, I believe it was the New Year's Eve. Back then in the early 50s, I think the first 12-hour race was in 1952. So now you should see, I can hear him coming up the front straightaway, and you should see him off in the distance there, right where you see that big giant airplane. And I'll tell you when I start to see him coming up. Oh, here they come. It's too late, they're already coming around turn 5. There's your leader. Got a pretty good pack of cars. And the Spec Racer Fords, they stay kind of packed up because they use each other to get a draft going, and when two of them get in line, they can go faster than one can go all by himself. And so they tend to pair up, and they find a dance partner. And all right, so there's some spectators up on the spectator mound. I see some spectators over there in the grandstands, right in front of you can see them over there, kind of right in that big tan building with the orange clay tile roof is Sebring Regional Airport. That's a terminal. And you can see the grandstands right in front of it. And folks climb up there to the very top, and you can see the cars going through Tower Turn. I'll show you. You see up there in here's the beautiful historic tower that was taken down in the 1990s. See it in the upper left of my shot there. And the tower was the historic control tower for the airbase. And they I think sometime during the 90s, they took the tower down and they restored it. And now they've got it back up. And there's a few relics of Hendricks Army Air Base here and there, all throughout this beautiful historic circuit. So your Spec Racer Fords are making their way around their first lap. I can hear them starting to come up the front stretch, past the tower, and coming into turn one. I can see them off in the distance. They are flying, man. So there's your leaders. There's first, second, and third. Here comes the battle for the best of the rest. Everybody's keeping it pretty tidy. Not bad, not bad. There's 2 laps through turn 5 with no incidents. It looks good. These guys have a nice clean race going. I don't see any yellow flags flying, so I think we're in good shape here. And now they can start to work out the running order. And the radio, the scanner is quiet, so that's a good sign. So we got some folks watching the stream. Thanks everybody for supporting the channel. Jump on the chat and say hi, and feel free to subscribe if you like. If you want to do that, we'll give you a free t-shirt if you want to come over here to Green Park. I'm not sure whether we're going to let everybody over here, because there's some other stuff going on. But if you can't get over here to Green Park and get yourself a t-shirt, get a hold of us on the website and send an email. There's an email address on the community forum. I believe the address is admin@myracedata.com, and that's ADMIN, and min@myracedata.com. Or I think that's the email address. And if you send the administrator from the website an email, they'll give you instructions on how to get your t-shirt shipped to you free of cost. If you can't make it here at the racetrack over to see us in the truck, we're over on the exit at turn 5, driver's right. Here come your Spec Racer Fords. Looks like we've had a change for the lead. Competitor using the whole racetrack. Getting a tire off on the exit of turn 5 there. Okay. So thanks everybody for tuning in. This is Racer Andy from MyRaceData.com. Uh-oh, I see a safety vehicle flying up through turn 2. We'll see if he's, yeah. I don't see any yellow flags yet. I did hear some chatter on the scanner. What's going on there quite yet? But I did hear some chatter on the scanner. The frequency that the racers, the corner workers use. There's somebody who broadcasts that on a repeater, and we have an analog scanner that we use to listen. Grab and drink real fast. So we've been out here all weekend. We've really enjoyed ourselves streaming this race. Everyone's been great. We'd like to thank the Central Florida region of the Sports Car Club of America for welcoming us to the race here in beautiful historic Sebring, where they're getting ready to host the 12 hours. I can hear the racers coming. They're still under full power. That's a good sign. There's your leader. He's starting to get a little bit of pulling out a little bit of a lead. We've had another change in the running order. How close these two guys are. Like I say, the Spec Racer Fords tend to stay kind of in one pack because, by way of an explanation, a Spec Racer Ford is a purpose-built race car. In other words, that's not a production car like you drive on the street to work every day. That's a car that was built specifically for racing, and they're built by Enterprise, which is part of the club that actually does some commercial stuff, and they build these cars, and they built several thousand. I think they might have started out with an alt engine in them, but then a decade or two back they switched over to little Ford engines, and I think they're on their third generation of the car. But anyhow, they're all very, very evenly matched. The engines are sealed, and so you can't really tune the engine. You can't do anything to change the power level of the engine. They're allowed to change their suspension settings and their tire pressures and things like that to set the car up in a way that is comfortable for the driver. But basically, what I'm telling you is that these are very, very evenly matched cars, and there really is, none of them have any kind of a power advantage, so they're very evenly matched. And so what that does is it ends up making it really and truly a driver's race. These guys are keeping it tidy. Whoa, we've had another change for the lead. These three guys are close, man. Excellent connection, so jump into chat and say hi. We've had a bunch of new subscribers this weekend, and we appreciate everybody, all of our subscribers, and that helps grow the channel. Every time you guys subscribe to the channel or you hit that thumbs up button, seems like a easy enough thing to do, but it really helps. It helps the channel get more play time up on YouTube, and they show more folks who are interested in racing our live streams and our videos, and that gets even more channel traffic, and so it all helps a little bit and get the word out. That Sports Car Club of America is some of the most fun and exciting amateur racing in all the world, especially here in the Central Florida region. There's guys from Central Florida who races in here at Sebring and also at Daytona International Speedway a couple times over the summer, and those are usually real low subscribe. Now your leader is starting to pull out a little bit of a gap, and they're second and third, and I'll just check out race monitor. going on, but some rail on the edge right there on the Okay, it looks like your leader is the number 20 of Tim Preble, and second place is the 101 of Mike Pakanowski. Third is Sean DeCole, and fourth is Ethan Bentic Smith, and fifth place is the number 35 of Adam Greener. And sorry if I'm mispronouncing your names, but I believe that the 101 of Mike Pakanowski was right up at, he might have won the race yesterday. But these same guys, the Spec Racer Ford guys, actually I think finished all the top 5 places in the endurance race were all taken by Spec Racer Fords. And it was all these same guys that ran really well in that race. So we're about half distance. There's about 14 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock, and we've got about 15 minutes to go. We've gone all the way to half distance without any incidents. These guys are keeping it tidy. They're having a nice race. There's your leaders, first, second, third, and fourth place, all running together, you know, within a couple car lengths of each other. 15 minutes into a 30-minute race, man. And so, keeping nice and bubble. Sometimes I can even hear tire slide. You know, right up next to the racetrack. I might be 30 or 40 feet from the edge of the racetrack. I'm right here at the exit of turn 5. So it's a great, it's a really great view of what's going on. So half the distance is the number 20 of Tim Preble, leading race overall. The 56 of Sean DeCole is shown in second, with the 101 of Mike Pakanowski in third, and Ethan Bentic Smith in fourth, and Adam Greener in fifth place. Stuart Mullen is in sixth. Gary Gazzoli is in seventh. We're about half distance into this Spec Racer Ford race. These guys are keeping it nice and tidy. I don't see any sign of any yellow flags from the corner worker station, so things are looking good. See, these guys can go the full distance. We've got some folks watching the stream. We appreciate it. There's your leader. Using the whole racetrack. And he's pulled out a little bit of a lead coming through turn 5. Now things might be a little bit different when they get out on the straightaway and stuff. But he's pulled out a little bit of a lead on second, third, and fourth, but not much. He might have maybe, 4 or 5 car lengths between him and the snarling pack coming up behind him. Now the lighting is really starting to come to me, man, because the cars are starting to really look great. It's when I set up for the stream, I kind of have to sit in one spot there, and sometimes the lighting isn't always the greatest. And it looks good right now. As the afternoon goes on, the light kind of sweeps over my left-hand side. So thanks everybody for joining us. This is Racer Andy and I am from MyRaceData.com, and this is the Central Florida Region Sports Car Club of America Cabin Fever Cure, and it's February 8th, 2026. We've got a 30-minute Spec Racer Ford feature race that's about half distance right now, and these guys are having a nice, the battle for the lead, the overall lead is, and these are one of the few guys, there's a few cars that are not, the current version of Spec Racer Ford is, I believe, Spec Racer Ford, they're the Gen 3 cars, and all the top runners are all running. Like I say, most Sports Car Club of America racing is multi-class racing, but these guys are, there's enough of them that they get a race of their own. Spec Racer Ford is one of the most popular classes, so here comes your leader, and you can see he's pulled out a little bit of a gap. Here's second, third, and fourth, and you know, they might have a car length between them, so, and it's impressive that your lead car can pull out that much of a gap. Because those guys use the draft to draw up close to each other, and when they get paired up in twosies, they can go a little bit even faster than they can all by themselves through the air. And one of the other things I was pointing out about these cars, if you look at them, it's actually much closer to an open wheel car. They have a body on them, but the body is really just a fiberglass shell. And in the endurance race, those guys were out there with the full-body production-based cars, and they're just racing right amongst the full-body cars, and you can tell these guys really trust each other. Because if a full-body car was to make contact with the Spec Racer Ford, there's a really hefty cage and chassis, but there would be a lot of crunching of fiberglass parts. And these guys trust each other. Sometimes they race together for years, and everybody knows everybody else, and then they come to respect each other, and they race really, really close. It's exciting racing. Comes your leader. He's coming up on some slower traffic, and there's second, third, and fourth place, and they're just starting to catch up to the tail end of the pack, and they're going to start to make their way through traffic. Look at this pack of cars, man. Whoa! And we have some contact there. Looks like everybody continued. There's one competitor over here, you see him, and he got spun around, and those guys, they had contact. I think I might have caught some of it on the camera shot, I don't know, but you see right in front of us, two of the competitors collided, and one of them came all the way around and ended up pointing in the wrong direction off driver's right at the exit of turn 5, and the other one ended up off it. And I think I see, if you look, let's see if I can show you. There you go. Look, see, there's a chunk of something on the racetrack right there. It's not don't know exactly what that, but there's a piece of one of those cars. So there's another little chunk of stuff, but they're right now showing a standing yellow. Uh-oh. I'm not sure, they might have. Boy, when I'm looking at the stream, just still watching the stream. So we're sorry if this hasn't been the highest quality stream we've ever done. And here comes one of the safety workers' trucks. And let's see, here comes another one, and they're probably going to. Oops. There's some stuff right there, dudes. Yeah, and it looks like they're gonna try and retrieve some of this junk that's on the track. And here comes the lead pack. I don't know whether those guys are. There's stuff out there on the track, guys. Yeah, and they're turning around. There's stuff out there on the track, guys. Yeah, and they're turning around and shooting. They're flying up. And they're waving a yellow flag. I don't know whether they've gone to a full course yellow or not, but they are waving the yellow flag. Everybody still seems to be, so you can see there's a little bit of garbage right there on the racetrack. Right there in the center of the frame. And there's another little piece that's kind of over on the, there you go, on the left-hand side. And I was going to say it wasn't on the racing line, but it actually is. There's quite a bit of rubber built up in that area, so apparently the cars do go in that vicinity. And it looks like the race monitor is showing the green flag, so it looks like they're going to keep running. I do notice that if you look over there in your left-hand side of the screen, they are showing a derivatives flag, which is a striped flag that lets the racers know that there's junk on the track or fluids or something of that nature. And the safety workers have turned around and they're coming back around service roads. And things are getting a little quiet down. I'm not sure if they've gone to a full course yellow. It doesn't appear. It still looks like they're running in green flag. So and here comes first, second, third. And you've had a little bit of a reshuffle. The top 3 or 4 guys are staying very, very close. And this is at this point anybody's race. And so, like I say, the quarter bikes is like a river flag. But there's no yellow flag, and they are continuing on with this 30-minute race with number 63 double racetrack in Sebring. And it is starting to get really warm out here. Okay, so there's 28, almost 29 minutes on the clock, so these guys are very likely on their final lap. You saw how close the race for first, second, third. It's anybody's race, and we'll see how it turns out. The last time by the stripe, Mike Bakanowski was leading, and now he's down to third. Everybody just went past start finish. That might be last lap. They're still showing as being under green, and there was only 29 minutes, so they might let these guys. So when you see these four cars come into view, they are on their final lap, I think. Yeah. There's been a little bit of shuffling of the order for sure. So there's the top four, and I believe they are on their final lap. Oh yeah, it's still showing as green. So last time by it was Tim Preble, Ethan Ventic Smith, Mike Bakanowski, and John Colton. So those are the competitors that are making up that top four. And I don't know how it's going to turn out, because they were really literally within a car length of each other as they went by here in turn 5. So that's probably going to be a pretty exciting finish. We thank everybody for watching the stream, even though that it seems like the quality of the stream might not be so great today. Sometimes that stuff just ran off the exit of turn 5 there, and it kicked up some dust. And sometimes it's a little beyond our control. I can't really get the proper bandwidth to get the stream up. We've lowered the resolution a number of times. Hoping that we're having a good stream. And let us know in the chat. We encourage you to subscribe, or at least give us a thumbs up and everybody else's channel. And yeah, I can see a couple pieces of stuff over there. Blower truck around the corner. There's like a ribbon slag in the turn 5 and so they're aware that there's some stuff on track. That was indeed final lap, because now they're showing as a finish. And so that was a great 30-minute feature race, and they had a couple of local yellows, but they managed to keep it tidy. And it looks like your winner may have been Ethan Smith. Number 34, that was a sport ride. shown as your winner. And Sean Cole, 56. Got second place. Third is Tim Preble in the number 20. And the 44 of Stuart Mullen is shown as fourth. So there was definitely a little bit of a shuffling in the order. Here's a beautiful historic tower. Some races running on lap. Here's the stars and bars up there, waving in the upper left corner of the shot. Thanks for joining us, everybody. This is Racer Andy. We don't know if we're getting really quality stream, but yesterday we had the most views we've ever gotten in a single day for one of the live streams. We just want to thank everybody who tuned in and watched the stream, because we just had phenomenal numbers. I believe this morning when I was looking at it, the live stream got over 500 views, so that's just absolutely awesome. Okay, I'm going to step away from the mic for just a second. We'll be back, and I believe either your improved touring or your Spec Miatas are going to be next. I'm not sure which one. Hi everybody, this is Racer Andy, and we're getting ready for another 30-minute feature race, and we'd like to thank the folks who jumped on the chat. Drag Racer 195703 says thanks for the stream, and he's asking if EP has run yet, and to answer your question as best I can, Drag Racer, is the production guys, the ENF production guys ran with the Super Touring. So that was the race prior to the Spec Racer boards. So if you scroll back in the replay, you probably catch those guys. And there was a pretty big group of production cars. And there was, I think, the Super Touring U and the Super Touring L. And Touring 4, I believe, was in that same group. And also the production, E production, F production were both in there. And also the B-Specs. And I think this weekend there was only 2 cars in this particular race. There was only 2 cars that were running in B-Spec. So usually there's a few more of those guys. But yeah, to answer your question, I believe that they may have already run their production race. We have a new subscriber, Jim. I'm not going to do a real good name or pronouncing your name, but I appreciate you subscribing. It's a Jim Kepper, and also Guy and Lucha, and Minnie Fetterman, Yvette Hernandez. These are all folks who have just subscribed to the channel in this weekend. And like I say, and thanks to all of you. I'm sorry if I'm not doing a real good job of pronouncing your name, but thanks to everybody who subscribes to the channel. That helps the channel a whole bunch. Let's spin the camera a little bit. You guys a little bit wider shot there. Here's a look at the racetrack. You really can't see the flag leaving on the historic Hendricks flagpole there, because there isn't too much of a breeze. But thanks to everybody who's jumped in the chat, and we have quite a few folks watching. We really appreciate that. And they're still showing, the race monitor is still showing the results from the Spec Racer Ford race, which was that was a very well contested race. Right, the top 4 were all right together, and then they had a little bit of coming together right here. You have to turn 5 right in front of the camera, and I don't know how much of it I caught on camera. I hope I got a pretty good shot of it. Okay, hi everybody. This is Racer Andy, and we are in between races here, and we did notice an SCCA corner worker, one of the marshals, one of the safety crew came and got retrieved the pieces of race car that were laying on the racetrack as a result of a little kerfuffle that happened between the couple of the Spec Racer Ford contenders, and we might have even gotten the incident. It was right here on the exit of turn 5 where we're live streaming. So I see the pace car coming around, leading the field for the next event. We've got, I believe, 3 more events to go, and this looks like the IT cars. Let's zoom in here and get a good look at these cars, man. So there's your field, and yeah, this is the improved touring, and this is one of the most well-subscribed races this weekend, and there's a bunch of these guys, as you can see. And improved touring is a very class because these are production-based cars. They're relatively inexpensive to race. I myself raced an improved touring car, and it's a relatively inexpensive class to run. It's a regional only race, and what that means is what the heck? Now that was awful quick. How did they make it all the way around the track there? Oh, there's 2 pace cars. I'm sorry. Nope. Is there? I'm a little confused, obviously. They might be running a split start for these guys. ITB, ITA, ITB. There's a touring 4, there's an they might be running a split start for this race, and they would probably do that, you know, if there was quite a few competitors. They split them up so that the fast guys don't end up getting in the slow guys' way. So yeah, they've got R1, and SMX, which is the pro version of Spec Racer, or the Spec Miatas. And I'm trying to scroll all the way down here to the bottom and look. And there's 46 guys in this group, so like, it's like a humongous group, man. Almost 50 guys, you know. Yeah, there's 47 cars in this race, so that's quite a pack of them. So that should be a good race. And it looks like some folks have jumped on the stream. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm Racer Andy. I have to apologize for the quality of the stream. It has not been that good this weekend. Sometimes we have a good satellite connection and sometimes we don't. And we've cut back the quality of the stream several times. We stopped at lunchtime and redid the settings, and we're still struggling to get a good stream going. But there's a few folks that have persevered and are watching the stream anyhow, and we really appreciate the support. And let you guys know that we're recording everything in 4K, and we'll go back later on and we'll make some highlight reels of all these races. And I believe I can hear the engines coming up. The break gave us a chance to put the sunshade on. It's starting to get pretty warm. So here comes the cars under power. There's your leader coming into the shot here any second. There he is. There's first overall, second, third. Look at this gaggle of cars, man. I believe these guys are going to run a split start. And so let's see if we can see them coming up between. I see another wave. So that they went ahead and gave these guys a split start. There's 47 of them, and so there's a second wave coming into me now. Split them up, and that'll spread them out a little better. And yeah, the breeze isn't blowing too hard, so I was able to put the sunshade up. And it's a nice, beautiful sunny day. I believe it's in the mid-70s, low to mid-70s. And the sky is blue. No clouds to be seen. And great weather for the 2026 Central Florida region's cabin fever cure. And in case you haven't figured it out, it's like if you're up North Racer and you're been locked up for a couple months snowed in, this is how you get a break from all that snow. Come on down to Florida and race with the Central Florida region. We had a club race last month in January. They called it the winter vacation, and that's what y'all should do, is take the winter vacation, come down here to Central Florida and race with us in Florida and get out of that snow. I have a brother who lives up in New Jersey, and he's just telling me all kind of dreadful stories about how much snow you guys have gotten in this most recent cold snap. So here come your leaders into the camera shot. Here's first place overall. And he's starting to pull himself out a pretty handy lead over second and third. There's a pretty good group of those guys. ITR BMW, and in case you didn't notice, the car doesn't have a top. That's a convertible model, and they're allowed to race with the top. I believe you even have to remove the top, and so that's an open air car. You're right out there in the breeze, and boy, I bet that's fun. Because there was a split start, these guys should spread out pretty quickly. We should be in for 30 minutes of exciting racing action. This is a 30-minute long feature race with the improved touring cars. And they started with a split start, and they had two pace cars, and so they sort of spread out the pack a little bit and give those guys a chance to get themselves sorted. I think that was the first race of the day that they've done that they had a split start, and that gets the competitors spread out a little bit and let them get the running order straightened out before they start to encounter each other. And inevitably, some of the faster guys start making their way through some of the slower traffic, and that's what club racing is all about. So there's your overall leader. I'll let you get a good look at that car. And now second and third placers starting to, green BMW riding the curving. Look how close those two are. Man, just driving the wheels off that car. There's a friend of the channel. That white and yellow Acura. Got some good racing action going on. It's cool. Cool paint scheme, man. How close these guys are running, man. That's pretty cool. everybody for joining us. Right in the middle of a IT improved touring 30-minute feature. And these guys are navigating their way through this 30-minute long race. It's a pretty long time to sit in a race car. And it gets to be a lot of physical work to drive these cars. So got a few folks watching the stream, in spite of the fact that I don't think it's particularly good quality of stream today. We've been struggling with the satellite connection, so whoops. So far the IT guys, the improved touring racers, have kept a nice, clean, tight race going. Little pass around the outside there. Look at this pack, man. Look how close these guys are. They're like one car length apart, man. They're like going into Big Bend 3 wide. It's like, no, I'm going to go first. No, I am. And a pass around the inside of the ITC car. Lots of good battling all the way down through the running order. And some great club racing here. Welcome everybody. We see there's a few folks that are persisting in watching the stream. We hope it's pretty watchable, but I just want everybody to know that we're recording everything, so if the stream isn't that great, we'll have some highlight clips a little later on in the week, and hopefully we've got tons of good footage. Look at this big old pack, man. And these guys are well into this race, and they're still all bunched up. And that's the fun of club racing, really, is that you always got somebody to race with. This is multi-class racing, and there's faster cars and slower cars, and you always have somebody to race with. That ITR BMW, I have some good shots of that. Now, these two guys have drawn up quite close to each other. Cool paint job, huh? I like that. Mini Cooper, Spec Miata, or Miata, obviously, I think the Miatas run in both A and S, depending on the configuration. Some of the Miatas have a little bit bigger an engine. That looks like a little run down the inside. Like a nice clean pass. Ooh, we are definitely getting into some traffic. Some of the faster competitors are making their way up through some of the slower guys. And, whoops, a little bit of an off course. Keeps right on going. Hung a tire off the edge of the track there, but No worries, we'll just keep the pedal to the metal. Didn't seem to lose too much time. And yeah, as the afternoon goes on, the sun makes its way around my left shoulder, and pretty soon the lighting starts to really come to me. You're getting a really good shot of these beautiful race cars. And look how close these guys are, man. And you're all negotiating traffic. Now, as part of the split start, is that getting the group of racers kind of split them in two. There was 47 guys starting this race, so that's a pretty large number of competitors. And so they split them apart, and now they're just all mixed up. Great afternoon of racing. Thanks everybody for joining us. This is Racer Andy from MyRaceData.com, and this is the Cabin Fever Cure, brought to you by the Central Florida region of the Sports Car Club of America. And this is some of the best amateur racing in all of North America at a beautiful historic racetrack, Sebring International Raceway welcomes us, and they have races out here just all year long. Central Florida region also hosts races at Daytona, good job, guys, man. It is some, look at these guys. I mean, they're literally like a car length apart, man. So lots of good racing all the way up through the field. Get a shot of this pretty green car. Yeah, man. So we love to sit here at turn 5. This is just, I mean, it was, the turn 3, 4, 5 complex was kind of my favorite corner to drive. And you see some pretty good action. These two guys, they're having at it. Lots of close racing all the way through the field. So these are 30-minute feature races. I imagine these guys are at least halfway through. You see the slower competitors move over, let the fast guys through. curbing on the inside and the outside.
Nah, we'll make it.
I appreciate it. I'll get out of the way.
Nah, we'll make it around.
Yeah, we'll go around. I'm gonna hand it to him on that side.
Okay. We do this every week.
Every week.
Is that cable? Far out. Thanks, I really appreciate it. I'm sorry to be in the way.
Thank you.
So, had to take a second there to get out of these guys' way. Wow, we are just getting some really close, great racing here. And looks like these guys might end up going the distance, man. They're keeping it nice and clean and tidy. Sometimes the improved touring races is one of the best races of the day. It's really competitive, and there's a lot of people participating, and a lot of times it's one of the best races of the whole weekend. Tire off the exit. Swear a little orange BMW W had the back wheel in the air. That was pretty spectacular. He was just definitely driving the wheels off that car. How close those guys are, man. When I can get both cars in the shot at the same time, they are close. Somebody ran off the exit. Picked up a bunch of dust. Luckily this time the wind is blowing in such a direction where when the guys run off to the outside of turn 5 here, I can, and it looks like the workers are waving at the competitors. That usually signals that the race is concluded. Let everybody get one final look at the field. And that was 47 snarling improved touring cars. Touring 4, improved touring, ITA, ITB, and ITS and ITR. They're all improved. There's several levels of improved touring. And depending on the speed potential of the models of cars they were using, and ITC is the slowest, and ITR is the fastest. And a lot of times the ITA cars and the ITS cars and the ITR cars are all real close together. You know, that there's some guys in ITA that just really fly, man. So, and you could tell that by the running order. So there's a bunch of folks watching the stream. We really appreciate it because we've had a heck of a time trying to broadcast this weekend, and I thought yesterday was pretty bad, but today has turned out to be even worse. And if anybody knows a certain millionaire who has a bunch of satellites up there, tell them to point a couple more of them in this direction or what have you, so we can get a little bit better a satellite connection. Might have to get another one. See if we have 2 satellite dishes. Maybe we can double our upload speed. And sometimes it works good. We can broadcast in 1080 and at 60 frames a minute, second. And sometimes we can barely get 720. And it's a little different all the time. And the sky is clear. I don't see any kind of cloud cover or anything like that. But it can be weather dependent. So I appreciate everybody hanging in there and watching the stream. We've had over 100 folks tuned in for today's, that's the afternoon. We had a bunch more folks in the morning. And yesterday, we got over 500 views for our live stream, which is the best single day viewer count for one of our live streams. We've been running these all last summer and through the fall. We were at Daytona 2 or 3 times over the summertime. Boy, I tell you, it was hot. And it's very pleasant right now. I think it's in the low 70s, low to mid 70s. Let me look at the weather. And it's been a very pleasant, so far, very pleasant day. There's no cloud cover. And so it's showing the temperature as being 27 degrees, and I don't think that's right. It's beautiful, 73 degrees here in Sebring. Isn't that gorgeous? So it's February 8th, 2026. This is the second day of the cabin fever cure, brought to you by the Central Florida region of the SCCA. That's the Sports Car Club of America. And had a great weekend, and I think we have 2 more feature races coming for you. That would be I believe the Spec Miatas, and also the GT cars. We'll probably wrap it up for the day, and those are always the most fun. And there you see the field, and yes sir, it's the Spec Miatas. See if I met a couple of guys last night at dinner, and they had driven in the endurance race. excited. They had such a great time. So it's 3:40 in the afternoon. This is going to be a 30-minute race. That would put us till about 4:10 for the 30-minute feature to run. So probably about quarter after 4 o'clock that the GT cars will bring on the final race of the afternoon. And they should be done by about 20 of, and that'll give us a little while to get cleaned up and get out of here, because it's always a lot of work to tear all the equipment down, and sometimes this place can clear out fast. Usually by the end of the afternoon on Sunday, all the racers have everything ready to go, and as soon as the race is over, they're off and on their way home. And the race we covered in January on Saturday night, the race, they usually run a little later on Saturday and Sunday. They try and get it wrapped up a little early because they know everybody's got to drive home. And well, I had to put one of those headlights on my head so I could get the equipment all put up in time. So thanks everybody who's joined us on the channel, and go ahead and give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the broadcast. I'm Racer Andy. I'm from MyRaceData.com, and this is the Central Florida region of the Sports Car Club of America. Cabin fever cure. It's nice and sunny. Hang on, I'll show you you can really almost, like, you know, you can barely see the flagpole because the breeze is, there it is, in the upper left corner of there you see the American flag, the stars and bars waving up there on the flagpole from Historic Hendricks Army Air Base. And like I say, there's very little breeze. I jumped up before the improved touring and touring 4 guys ran, and I put the sunshade up to try and stay out of the sun, because it's actually pretty warm. So it's in the low to mid 70s in February here in Florida, in Central Florida, and we're having the cabin fever cure, and this is your cure for cabin fever. If you're a up north racer, you should come down here and join us. And I hear it's pretty snowy up there in the north, so we'd love to have you down here. Come and race with us in Central Florida. I can hear the cars coming up, coming down the front straightaway under power. They should be coming into view. You should be able to see them. Yeah, see them go by. And they're coming through turn 2 and 3. Here comes your leader. Look at this pack, man. Woo, we have a car taking a little excursion through the dirt. Joins in about at the end of the pack. Just ran completely wide and kept it under control. Ran wide through the exit of turn 5. But everybody made it through. No yellow flags. And that was a bit of excitement on the first lap of this 30-minute feature, and I wonder if those guys are aware that there's 30 more minutes of racing, so they are obviously chomping at the bit, ready to rock and roll. And I can hear them making their way through turn 10 and up towards the tower turn 13. There's the tower. And that's up in the upper left corner of the shot. That is the historic tower that was built during World War II, back when this was Hendricks Air Base. And I think back in the 90s they took it down and they restored it. Now they've got it back up again. There's one of the buildings on the grounds of Sebring International Raceway is one of the original buildings that was here back during World War II when Hendricks was operational and they were training B-17 and B-29 pilots. And now they call it the Officers Club. And it's very beautifully restored. The interior of the building is decorated in a manner that would look correct for that period of time when this was Hendricks Air Base. Now we've been running the 12 hours, the historic 12 hours of Sebring since the early 1950s. This place has an incredible history. So you should be seeing competitors. There they are. Coming through here. There's your leaders. Look at this gaggle of cars. Everybody makes it through clean on the second lap. Looking good, guys. Keeping it tidy. And that's some close racing, man. Now, Spec Miatas are definitely one of those class of cars where the idea is that they're very, very equally matched. That's why they call them Spec. Grab a quick drink, try to keep myself hydrated. And so yeah, the cars are very evenly matched and it makes for a driver's race. It's a lot of fun. They stay close, they use each other to draft, and usually when two of them get hooked up, they can go faster than one car can all by themselves, cutting through the air. And you see them making their way through turn 14 and 15 way off in the distance. Yeah, you can see that in a shot there. And they're headed down towards turn 16, where they built a new viewing stand. They have a new viewing stand over there on in the vicinity of turn 16, so you can see these guys as they make that last corner out onto the historic back runway straightaway. And they're getting ready for the 12 hours. They've got a whole new spectator area built on the south side of the racetrack that runs along the outside of the back straightaway. And they've got a camping area set up. And there's a new pedestrian walkover bridge that's just before turn 17. And you can enter into the racetrack from that side of the and there you can see the competitors coming through down the straightaway from turn 2. There's your top 3. Look how close these guys are. So there's your top 3, and it looked like they were starting to get ready to try to make a pass. Look at this, a little further down in the field. These guys are less than a car length apart, man. And here comes another pack of them. Dude, using the whole racetrack, jumping over the curbs and everything else. This is some good, tight, clean racing. And like I say, they stay kind of bunched up because that's how they make speed. But boy, when they go by, they put on a show, don't they? So we've got some folks watching the channel, and we encourage you to say hi in the chat and subscribe if you'd like to. or give us a thumbs up, because that helps YouTube to show the channel to more folks, and kind of has a snowball effect. The more people start watching the channel, more people get shown the channel, and we've really just grown in the last 2 months. We had over 500 views yesterday for the live stream, for Saturday's live stream, and that's the most single day views we've ever got for any of these live streams. So we really, really appreciate the support that we're getting from all the folks here in the Central Florida region of the Sports Car Club of America, and also quite a few of our subscribers come from, some of them are over Europe and all over the world, and people everywhere enjoy watching close racing, close club racing. These are amateur, non-professional race car drivers, but that doesn't mean they're not fast. And they take this serious, and every year they have a national championship, and those guys, it means the world to them to win a national championship. And they have the championship is all different places all over historic racetracks all over the country. And here comes your top three. They're getting a little bit spread out, but you see little guys pairing up. Look at this group. So who's your favorite? Get in the chat and let us know. Just really on rails, man, coming through turn 5. Turn 5 is I have to tell you, it's a particularly diabolical corner. It's a decreasing radius. Here, I'll show the camera over there and show you. And I mean, it's you go through in the 12-hour configuration. You come from turn 1 up straight away, and turn 2 is a little bit more than a little kink in the road. And then you come into the 3, 4, 5 complex, and it's all 3 corners have to be kind of negotiated as a set of corners, because how you go through turn 3 depends on where you are when you get to turn 4, and then you're setting up your entrance for turn 5. And turn 5 is pretty important, because once you get through turn 5, you go under the bridge and you go out onto Big Bend, and that's a pretty long straightaway. So the idea is to hold a lot of cornering speed through 5, and guys can get a little bit over ambitious, and it's actually a bit of a decreasing radius corner, and a lot of times you end up running out of racetrack, and they end up going over the curbing and out into the dirt. You can see that there's kind of red clay all over at the outside edge there, and sometimes it just ends up with a wall of dust and getting kicked up. Luckily, the wind is, what little breeze we have is carrying most of the dust in the other direction. Because sometimes I just end up getting pummeled with all kind of dirt. Here comes these guys, 3, 3, and 4. Here's your leaders, and I'm not sure, I might be counting. Uh-oh. There's one car has dropped back from that pack, and there's your leaders. That car was in the 3rd position when I last saw him, and now he's in 1st. So there's been a little bit of a shake-up. Look at these 3. Enjoying this great Spec Miata racing. Look how close these two are. probably about a third of the way into the 30-minute feature race as the guys make their way up from turn 10. Series of S's that right after you go around Big Bend, and like I said, that's kind of a long straightaway. You know, it's got a bend in it, and then you run down into the safety pin, which is the hairpin, and that's the slowest corner on the racetrack. And as you exit the hairpin, there's a series of S's that lead you up into turn 10, and rest of the way up to turn 13 is Tower, and then those guys head all the way out across the back of the racetrack and down towards that historic runway straightaway. And then they go, when they get to the end of the straightaway, that's turn 17, and the racers call that sunset because that's to the west, and the sun sets down there in the vicinity of that corner. And when you're coming down that historic long back straightaway, you're just facing straight into the sun as the daylight fades. And I've raced here. We raced in an endurance race in one of the vintage classes. That was a it was a support race for the 12 hours, and then we ran an endurance race that started at 5 and it ended at 7, and it was pretty much completely dark. Now look at this, the top 4 are completely all in one group. And let's see if I can get the race monitor up. We'll try and take a peek at the running order. Isn't it? Whoops. So we try and get a good shot of all the cars so you can tell all your buddies about the channel, and they can see you out there on track in your race car. You can show your mom. Tell your friends and your family about the channel. I'm Racer Andy from MyRaceData.com, and we are bringing you some excellent Sports Car Club of America club racing. This is our second event in 2026. We were here in January for the winter vacation. And now this is called the Cabin Fever Cure, and if you've been locked up and snowbound up north, you should come down here. You get cabin fever. Well, this is your cure. Come to Florida and race with us down here in the Central Florida region of the SCCA. Thanks everybody for joining us. We've got a bunch of folks still in watching the stream, and my instinct is that this has not been our best stream. We've had some problems with the satellite dish giving us enough upload speed, and we're out here in the middle of the Green Park, and the internet connection is not that great. So let's see if I can get the race monitor up, and we're showing Mark Cafallo as leading, and look at this pack of the top 4 competitors. That beautiful 97. Little bit of a off-course excursion there, hanging a tire. Whoops, there's another one. These guys are, they are really having at it, and you're pushing the limit. Oh, these cars are just driving the wheels off them, man. there's another competitor that's managed to hang a couple of tires off the outside. And I'm sure the tires are starting to get hot, slide around a little bit. And I'm not sure whether sometimes these guys have a spec tire, so they all have to use the same tire. And I think some of the races, they're only allowed one set of tires per weekend. Pardon me. So I'm showing the doubles here of Mark Cavallo is leading the race. And whoops, no, I think I'm sorry, I'm scrolling way down. Actually, Mark's in 28th place. There's quite okay, Christian Meyer is your leader. That's the 134 of Christian Meyer is your leader. The 97 of Corey Golem is second. The 63 of John Rada is third. Fourth and 94 is Nick Leverion. And fifth is held down by Gianni Moro. And so that's your top five. And I'm sorry if I butchered your names, guys. And feel free to come over here to Green Park and teach me to pronounce your name properly. I'll try and get it worked out. And but you can see that those top four racers, and those guys are just on through start finish. They should be making their way down towards the 22nd, and they're running at about 2-minute 36-second lap time. And I can tell you that the top three is covered by 1/10 of a second in lap time. They're really close. So there's your top three. These two. They're all jumping the curve. Like I say, these are very evenly matched cars, so I mean, you just really have to drive hard to get a good finish in this class. I mean, some of these guys are really just driving the wheels on these cars. So okay, so I see we got about 20 minutes on the clock, so that means we've got about 10 minutes to go in this feature race. We got 9 minutes 47 seconds, so these guys are running about 2-minute 30-second laps, 2-minute 36s, I think. So you got probably maybe 4 more laps to go, and you can see that the top 4 are all right together. They're within a few tenths of a second here. I mean, all the way down to, I have to go all the way down to, 3rd or 4th place before the gap is more than a second, So they're running really close. They've got a clean race. We're under green flag, and got about maybe 3-4 laps to go in this Spec Miata race, and it's a really close one. Point the camera over there so you guys can see me coming up when you come around turn 1. They're just blazing when they come off that front straightaway, going past the tower where start finish is, and they come into turn 1 just really cooking, man. There they are. You can see them coming through turn 2 into 3 and 4. There's your leader. That's the 134. They are very close here. Look how close this back is. And all the way down through the field, there's big icing all the way down through the field. There's a lot of little races going on. These guys are just nipping tough for those final positions. Whoa, just way out here. Just driving the wheels off these things, man. So you got about 3 more laps to go. Finalizing that race, man. You can see that, amongst the top 3 cars, there's absolutely maybe a car length or 2 between them. They're all right there, so all of them have, it seemed to me when they went past our finish, they were a little bit further apart, but when they came by us on the exit of turn 5, man, they were literally no more than maybe 1 or 2 car lengths apart. Power gate. Time first. There you go. Okay, don't miss any action. So about 3 laps to go. We should really see some close racing here. At the moment, Christian Meyer is shown in first. That's the 134, the last time Bobby was. There they are, there's the top 2-3. There's 97. Look how close these guys are coming into this corner, man. Oh my gosh, here might be a car lead. Wow. That is not even a flat out car was he was all moving around on the entrance. That was spectacular. And you can see now that somebody is really working for us. As he goes on, I get over my right hand corner. Now you can really see these beautiful race cars. That's good. Pardon me while I grab a quick drink. So we got 25 minutes in the books. We've got about 2 more laps to go. Give these guys 2 laps to settle the matter of who's the fastest Spec Miata this weekend. During our 30-minute feature race yesterday, we had practice and qualified. Practice in the morning and qualified starting right just before lunch. And all the cars qualified, and then at 3 o'clock we had an endurance race. There was 55 entrants, and they started them all in one big pack, man. And let me tell you what, 55 competitors, something, 2 or 3 white, it was really something to see, man. So here comes your top 3 or 4 cars. Let's see what running order they come through this time. Whoa! Okay, so we've got a complete reversal of the order. That's unbelievable. The competitor that went by in 3rd place is now leading, and that shows you how these guys can mix it up. I mean, they probably get out there on that back straightaway, and it's a drafting war. So get in the chat and tell us who's your favorite Spec Miata driver. Like I say, the last time by, the top 3 are just driving the wheels off these things, trying to make their way to the front of the pack, man. This is really close, competitive racing. It's probably one of the most exciting classes to watch in the Sports Car Club of America. guess their guys are probably down to just about their final lap. So we'll see what happens. So last time by start finish, Christian Meyer was leading the way. He just went by. These guys just crossed over. This is probably their white flag lap. Actually, it's Nick Leverione in first place. That's the 94. Christian Meyer in the 134 is in second. Corey Collum in the 97 is in third. Fourth is John Radit, and those guys are probably going to be coming by here in just a second. Here they come. Look at this. The top three are maybe a car length apart, man. Look at that. So let's see how that turns out. This is it. This is your white flag lap, I believe. Same thing, a little further down the field. I mean, these guys might be maybe 6th or 7th place, and they're just still a car length apart. Beautiful black 95. Like I say, jump in the chat. Tell us who's your favorite Spec Miata driver. I have a hard time picking one because every one of these guys is just driving the wheels off these cars, man. Just some really great race car driving. So last time by start finish, it was Nick Leverione. So let's see if he holds on. Look how close those two are. I mean, we're 30 minutes into this race, and these guys are literally one car length apart. If that tells you anything about how competitive Spec Miata racing is. So we've got 30 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. So that was your final lap, and we'll see who goes to start finish first. Because I mean, I think that was anybody's race, you know. And I mean, like I say, the final few portions of this racetrack are going down that long historic runway of the back straightaway, which is, I believe, almost a mile long. And these Spec Miatas, they're going to get all lined up, and they're going to use each other for the draft, and they're going to come into turn 17 and come under that bridge. And boy, that's the bumpiest part of the racetrack. Turn 17 is all still part of that original concrete runway, and it's all broken up and shifted around, and it's very, very bumpy, and you're just the car sliding, and as it's going over the bumps, and you come under the bridge, and you come out on, yeah, and I think looks like corner workers are leaving. We'll see who goes to the That's a cool down lap, dude. And so it looks like first place went to Christian Mayer in the 134, and Corey Collum in the 97 was second, and Nick Leverione was in third. So there you go. I mean, they're like last time by on that last lap, I believe Nick Leverione was leading, and the order got completely reversed. And there you go. That's exciting racing, man. Those top three were dicing all the way through for 30 straight minutes. They were just dicing all the way from start to finish. So, and that gives you an idea of how close and competitive these guys are. And so, it seemed to be nice on turn 5, so you can get a good look at all the cars. And that was an exciting race. So I believe we have one more to go, and that would be the GTE race. And that's the ground pounders, I call them. And these are big purpose built full body cars, but they have a tube chassis, and just unbelievable race cars. I have some shots. I was walking around the paddock area on Friday afternoon and making friends and talking to some of the guys, and I took a bunch of still pictures. So we've got a ton of pictures that we can post up on the website and show you what some of these cars look like with the body removed. And I mean, just they are unbelievable. If you see the sophistication of these race cars, it's just really, really amazing. You know, I took some shots of the interiors of the car And literally, you're talking about a full-body car that has, you know, just literally electronics of all variety, and it's barely room for the driver to fit in there. So okay, so there's the trucks, and we've got one more race to go. There's the safety team, and they're out there with the blower truck to clean everything up, make sure that the course is clear for the big boys. And these are the fastest out of all the club racing cars. These things go 160, 170, maybe even 180 miles an hour getting close to down that back straightaway here at Sebring. It's a long back straightaway. It's the concrete runway from Hendricks Airfield, and these big cars really get a chance to stretch their legs. This is a 3.74 miles, almost, 3 3/4 of a mile long racetrack, and it gives these big cars a chance to really spread their legs and get honking right along. So what you saw here in this previous race was the Spec Miatas. That's a class where the cars are very, very closely matched, and so they kind of stuck all in one big pack, and they use each other for the draft. And obviously they were using the draft to mix up the running order on the last lap there. But now the GT cars, they don't really need each other. They don't need a draft off the other car. These things make so much power that they're not really worried about getting in line with their competitors and pulling a draft. They just stand on the loud pedal and let the horsepower do the talking. So this should be an exciting race. The Central Florida region usually runs the GT cars the last race of the day, and it's always exciting, and we should have those guys up here in lickety split, maybe another 3, 4, 5 minutes, and we'll be bringing you the last race of the day. This is a 30-minute long feature race. There's quite a wide variety of cars that are entered in the class. We've had quite a bunch of folks jump on the stream. We've had some good viewer counts all weekend long. When I got up this morning to get ready to come over here, we stayed last night in this 7 Sebring Hotel. It's a beautiful hotel right on the corner of, right down there near the safety pen. And you can rent a room, and you have a balcony that overlooks the racetrack. And you get up in the morning and you have your coffee out on the balcony, and you can watch the safety crews cleaning up the track and getting ready for the day's race. Pardon me while I grab a quick drink. It's good. Nice and cold. My Powerade. So, and also we went out to dinner last night. We went to Cody's Authentic Roadhouse, which is up in Sebring, and just the hospitality is fantastic. We highly recommend. The channel production crew highly recommends Cody's Authentic Roadhouse in Sebring, Florida. And the food is delicious. Their motto is just plain good food or something like that, and it really is. We've had a variety of different menu items over these last few months, and the staff is courteous and fast, and the place is always packed, and that's really the proof's in the pudding, right? It's good food, and people just flock to the place. It's incredible. And I met a couple of competitors last night who had participated in the endurance race, and that was great fun to shake these guys' hands and get to know them and tell them. I mean, that I remember the car that they were driving, and I told the one younger fella who was driving it, I said, "You're driving the wheels off that thing, man. You're jumping the curbs." I said we were right outside turn 5, and you were getting that car right up on the inside curbing, and he got a big grin on his face. And so, yeah, it's the endurance race is great fun, and like a little later on in the year, over the summer, they'll have the Twilight Enduro, they call it. And they start the race they have that on Saturday night. They start the race at 5 and they end it at 7. So the race basically starts in the daylight and it ends in the dark. And I hear the big guys coming up the front straightaway. You know, I can look through the crossover bridge and see straight out to the front straightaway and see the terrace there. I can't quite see the tower. It's just out of view, but I can see the front straightaway. So here comes the pace car, and I tell folks when we get ready to run the GT cars is you might have to turn your volume down a little bit because these guys are loud, man. Wait till you see these cars. So one of the GTX cars is leading the way, and I mean that thing is literally like. And there's the Nick, big number 6. He won that race yesterday. And there's your GT field. It's a beautiful green Aston Martin with orange highlights on it. When we went into the paddock area, and there's I think these guys are Spec Corvettes. And that's a good, clean, that's made to be a somewhat economical class to run, and there's quite a few of them. So it's probably fun to run. So those guys will be forming up as you'll hear them as they make their way up through the S's behind me, following the pace car. But boy, you can tell when they get the green flag, you can tell because they are just making a huge racket, man. And so we've got some folks watching the channel. We really appreciate anybody who's suffered through. We've had a really tough time. We had to turn the quality of the resolution of the shot way down, and the satellite connection has not been the greatest. And so I don't think this has been our best stream ever. But yesterday, when I got up this morning and I looked at the stream we had done yesterday, we were on the air for over 7 hours, and the stream had gotten over 500 views. And so I just want to say that thanks to everybody, because that's our best single day view count from any of the live streams we've done so far. And that was the best viewer count we've ever gotten. Over 500 folks got on the channel and checked out the stream, and that's we really appreciate every single one of you. We've gotten quite a few new subscribers to the channel. We'll see how it goes. We try and keep bringing you guys these club races. If they let us. So we should be hearing the GT cars. They're probably lining up for the start. And like I say, when they get the green flag, you'll hear it, man. See if I can point over there. The light's a little better now. See, if you look right through the bridge, you can see the start finish. And you'll probably hear them. CFR-SCCA, Mission Foods crossover bridge. That's how you get into Green Park. So those guys are lining up 2 by 2 as they come down that back straightaway. We'll be waiting to hear the thunder. There it is. Here they come. You can just hear them when they hit the green flag, man. And so you'll see them, and they come into turn one. And there they are, making their way through turns 3 and 4, and they'll be coming into view in just a few seconds. Here's your leader. It's that SPO. Everybody gets through clean. So they've got a good start to 30 minutes worth of racing, and you'll see these guys will get way spread out. So that SPO that was leading the way, we took some pictures of that car in the paddock with the hood off, and they had the tires sitting there getting ready to put them on the car, and then this thing they were over a foot wide. I'd say they were like 15 inches wide. I mean, just giant slick tires, man, that probably produced just tons and tons of traction. I was blown away by how big the tires were. And that thing was a technological wonder. It was just really beautiful, beautiful car. And we'll post the pictures of it up on the website so you guys can see what it looks like. So I can see the competitors making their way through turn 14 and 15, back towards 16 to be headed on to the back straightaway. They'll be making their way down the back straightaway and coming up under the bridge in turn 17. They should be coming by any second now. I'll go ahead and pan the camera over so you guys can see them on their way through. Right about there is that's turn 1. Hear them coming. Here comes your leader. Look how fast he goes. That little short change. So there's the number 6 SPO, and that second place car is a GTX car. There's another one. All the way out to the edge of your track. Whoops. Jumping the curb on the exit. Yeah, like I said, now when I was in the paddock, a bunch of the Spec Corvettes were all paddocked together, and they all knew each other. And the one car I was taking pictures of it, and it had a big old door donut on it, and that's where one car is rubbing against the other car's puts a circular tire mark on the door of the car. We used to call it a donut, and I said to the guy, I like your paint scheme there. It's got a door donut. And he said, yeah. He said he did that. And he pointed to one of the other competitors. And they walked over and they were laughing about it. And they were talking about how much they enjoyed racing with each other. And so there's just a great example of the sportsmanship these guys show. So we'll point the camera over there so you guys can see. How close I can zoom in. You see him coming through the turn 1, and I mean, you come off that front straightaway and all the way down the front straightaway in front of it. It's the same thing. It's a concrete from Hendrix, and it's you come into turn one, and turn one is a blind left-hander, and so you don't even see the apex of the corner until you're about. Yeah, you can see him coming up through turn two. There's your leader. You don't see the apex of the corner until you're 2/3 of the way through it. And we've had a change for the lead. And a big old race going on. Here comes a Lamborghini. He's kind of leading the second wave, if you will. That thing. Get a good shot of the Aston Martin. That thing's beautiful. It's green with orange highlights on it. Listen to those cars going along down the S's in the jumping the curb on the exit. Now, and like I say, when the Spec Miatas were running, every single one of them was hopping the inside curb and running out onto the exit, jumping the curb on the exit. Sometimes they took a little bit of the red clay with them. So there's your start of your GT race. That's the first. That's the first lap of the first 2 laps. And we've had a change in the lead already. We'll see what order they come through next time. Like I say, the GTX that's leading the race, this car, if you get close to it, it is like literally an LMP. It's like a Le Mans prototype, man. And I took some close-up pictures of it back in January, and there's 2 of them. One of them's blue and one of them's red. And they are just gorgeous cars, man. And really just amazing to look at. And last time by, the blue one was leading the charge. Here he is. He's got a pretty good lead built up to second place. And now the Porsche, the Hendrix Motorsports Porsche. Okay. And the Hendrix Motorsports Porsche has now moved up into second place. So lots of good racing all the way. Listen to this thing. You know, when he opens the throttle, it's just like, and look how close those guys are. They're less than a car length apart, man. One of the Spec Corvettes is giving the guy in the Aston Martin fit. So we've got some great races all the way down through the field. These guys will get themselves kind of spread out. And I can see them just flying up through 14 and 15. Friday afternoon, we were shooting some pictures, and those guys, some of them were going through 14, and they were flying so fast. It's a right-hander, and I was over on the other side of the fence shooting pictures through a little opening in the concrete barriers, and they were going through 14 so hard that the front right corner, the front right tire was just skimming the pavement and just flying. It was really spectacular to see. And so we're a couple minutes into about 3 or 4 laps into the final race of the day. We just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We've got some really great numbers. Here come your leaders. We'll see what order they're in this time, because the Hendricks Motorsports Porsche was starting to gain some ground here. There's your GTX. Look how close it's got. And there's the 6, the SPO. That's another one that's pretty loud. Here's a sister car with the Lamborghini right on them. Let's see if we can get a shot of that pretty race car the next time I'm by. Here comes that big old noisy Mustang. That thing is loud, man. He's banging the meters. Yeah, Aston Martin is still leading that silver Corvette. That one might go the distance. So thanks everybody for joining us. I'm Racer Andy from MyRaceData.com, and we have just had the greatest time streaming this race for you guys. And we apologize if the quality of the stream hasn't been that great, but we got everything recorded, and we'll go home and make some highlight clips and put them up as the week goes on. And I'm sure it's going to be some really spectacular footage. So, like I said, we've really enjoyed the live stream. We got a bunch of viewers yesterday. We got a bunch today again. So, thanks. We have a few new subscribers. Hit the thumbs up button for us if you can. Look how close the Porsche is catching up to the GTX. Giving them a good hard run for it. The whole top 5 is just within a few seconds of each other. That second group of 3 cars, it's anybody's race. Here we get a good shot of this. It's a pretty race car, man. Attaboy. He's squealing the tires coming through the corner, so making him work as hard as he can. So we've got some great racing action. This is our last race of the day. It's a 30-minute long feature race. We're probably about less than 10 minutes into it. Already had a couple of changes for the lead. The top 3 mixing it up pretty good, and now it's down to the top 2. But that second group is all 3 of them are together. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. If I get a second, I'll bring the race monitor up. So when they're coming up. So they're already, look, see, they're already getting into some traffic. That's where things get dicey, you know. So that was 1st and 2nd, and they've already started to encounter some of the slower competitors. And now there's been a change for 3rd place. in that race up ahead of him. I believe he's starting to root. Whoa. Big old bobble. That was cool. Tire on the exit, using the whole racetrack. Yeah, like I say, I can hear the Aston Martin swallowing the tires. Coming through turn 5, he's pushing her hard. So it's been a good clean weekend of racing. It's had very few incidents. Let me see if I can bring the race monitor up here. And there go your leaders. So what do you think? They're maybe 2 car lengths apart at the most, and next up, you'll see 3rd, 4th, and 5th come flying through here. Here come those guys. And they're having to close the last position on the podium is the GTX car. Seems like he's pulled out some. Check the gap back. Number 6. And there's the Lamborghini in 5th. The number 6 is holding down 4th. So that's James Cunning in the GTX, the number 27. That's that beautiful blue with Ligier, and that's James Cunning. And in 2nd place is Russell Wittenberg in the GT2. That's the Porsche GT3. That's a 2015 Porsche GT3 that is currently running in 2nd place. And he just laid down a purple lap. He's got the fastest lap time. That was a 2:11 with a 6. So the Russell is really pedaling that Porsche, trying to get his way around the GTX car. And then 3rd place is Danny Moon in the 2nd GTX. That's the red one. And the number 6 of Frank Copetti. I'm sorry if I put up your name there. That's the number 6 of SBO. That's the yellow. That's a Camaro, I believe. Yeah, a Chevy Camaro. And then James Wilson is in Lamborghini, and he's holding down 5th place. So there's your top 5. And I mean, you have 3 different classes all running in the top 5. And so we're 18 minutes, so we're just past halfway, and there's your race for 1st and 2nd place. And so there's maybe 2 car lengths between those 2 guys, and the 2 of them, they've kind of gone off on their own little race, and they're going to contest that one, I think, all the way to the end. And next you'll see 3rd, 4th, and 5th come by, and last time by it was the prototype, and he's still leading the way, so it looks like he's got a pretty good gap. And there's the SBO, the number 6, and there's that beautiful Lamborghini. What a pretty car, man. And so that's our top 5 right now, at half distance. We're just over halfway. We're 19 minutes into a 30-minute race. Loud and proud, man. These are the loudest race cars out of all. So some of the faster cars are making their way up the field and encountering some of the slower traffic, and that's all part of the game. This is multi-class racing in the Sports Car Club of America. There's always guys that are going a little faster than you, guys going a little slower, and you got to navigate your way through the traffic, and it makes it fun, man. So people are passing you, you're passing people, and that's how it works. And it's multi-class racing. This is an Aston Martin. Look how pretty it is, man. Look at this beautiful car, man. And the sun is really starting to work for us, and we're getting some great shots. And here's one of the photogs, and look at this. What happened? I wonder if we have an incident. Oh yeah, I see the prototype just getting started back again. And so apparently that's the 1st and 2nd place race, and I think those guys settled it over there in turn 3. And not in the way you want to win a race, certainly, but there's 3rd place, the number 34, and here comes 4th and 5th. And those guys are maybe 2-3 car lengths apart. So let's see, and there you go. So that was the number 27 is James Cunning, and he was being pursued by the 113 of Russell Whitberg in the Hendricks Motorsports Porsche GT3, and I think the race line got settled over there in turn 3. Those Thunder cars now. So yeah, it looks like and that's a GT2 car, that 911. They're out of Ormond Beach, Florida, and that Porsche GT3 is actually a GT2 car, and he just flashed over the start-finish line and showed in first place of 113 with James Cunning in the GTX. The GTX Ligier was allowed to held on to stay in second place, but now the number 74, Danny Hoon, in the second GTX is probably finding his way right up. So there goes your leader, and he is cranking along, man. He's making his way through some of the Spec Corvettes that are back out in the running order a little bit, and working his way through traffic, and we're still waiting. And like I say, the two, Danny Moon and he's showing in second now, so maybe the one GTX car might pull out of the race because we don't see him as having gone by start finish. And there's Danny Moon